Hi guys, welcome to your Pick an Art reading. Today's artwork is brought to you by yours truly, Meek the Minx. Today we focus on the enigma symbol of a Dwennimen. This is a symbol of humility through strength, as well as if you look closely, it's supposed to be an aerial view of two ram heads actually colliding with one another. Okay, so it is supposed to symbolize the humility that comes with learning, the humility that no matter how far or how strong you've become, okay, you understand that you're still humble before the great purpose of divine order, okay? And you're always a child of God. You're always learning and you're always ascending. Okay, now, before we do the tarot, I want to get into just a download that I wrote down, okay? It's about matching egos. Okay, you try not to match egos with others because it can bring forth war. It could bring forth hostility unnecessarily. Okay, this is where humility comes from, right? The idea that you sacrifice your ego in order for the divine alignment, for God, for peace. Okay, when you start matching egos and become like a ram and you start hitting against one another, it's the importance of being humble. It is important to be to show that humility before God, because you're just going to be at war with yourself. Okay, if you disrespect me, you only disrespect yourself. If you lie to me, you're only lying to yourself. Okay, if you love me, you really are loving yourself. Okay, it's the I and I concept. Okay, it's the perception of that. Okay, if you're hostile toward me, you're only hostile toward yourself. Okay, we're all connected. We're all connected and with divine order and divine purpose. So if you're not humble toward the lesson, you just are making your own ascension that more difficult. If you're looking for offense where there is none, meaning that you're dwelling in the place of the ego, meaning you're serving a different I don't want to say God, because it's not God, it's man. You're serving man and you're not serving God. Okay, you're serving your ego, not the divine alignment for the greater good of divine understanding. Okay, if you give on to others, you understand that you're just a connector. Those blessings didn't come from the man version of you or the egoic identity of you. Okay, this is how you could tell which I don't like saying God you're serving, because there's only one God. So you're either serving man or you're in divine alignment with the universe. Okay, you're either bringing peace or you're bringing war. But the funny thing is about the freedom of will is that both identities have to exist on the earthly plane in order for you to make a choice. Okay, while we're on our soul journey, we literally make contracts to be in certain families, be in certain bloodlines, to have certain alliances. But no matter what that looks like, your soul journey is your own. This is an individual conversation between you and the divine God, the oneness of God. Okay, this is why you can't really go outside of yourself to seek purpose. You only can seek alignment with the greater good of humanity as well as the universe. Okay, when you get too much in egoic nature and you start replacing your God with materialism, replacing your God with the ego side of the soul experience, you start making war within yourself, blocking yourself from blessings. If you disrespect me, you only disrespect yourself. That is from the elders. Not just the elders, but that's from God, right? Because everyone is a child of God. As soon as I can see you in flesh, you are literally a child of God. Spirits are also children of God, right? Because nothing comes from nothing. Okay? There was something within which everything was made. Okay? So I was in a meditation and I wrote down this. I know we're going to get to the tarot. I heard someone just say that. We're going to get to it. Just give me a second. Okay, I was in a meditation and I did say, I didn't understand. I wrote it down. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so I didn't understand. So if you put people in a state of fear and lack and expect them to make decisions, they will make decisions that won't fulfill them. Okay, so if they're in a lack mentality or a fearful mentality, the decisions that they make will only be decided upon the things that they can see instead of trusting the divine alignment of God, right? It's like a choice that we make, right? It's like, given what I see, I will choose this, right? But you don't really check in with God. You don't check in with the heart space. Like, is this really what I want? Will this be fulfilling to my soul? Right? This is why certain opportunities you kind of rush to because you're in a fear or a lack mentality. Right? This is why it's a life work, really, right? Because every time there's a cycle that comes up and it's just like, hey, are you going to choose a frequency of fear or are you going to choose a frequency of love? Right? So I didn't understand, because in the world, as I was seeing it, a lot of resonance was, I don't think I have any other option, and so I'm choosing this. And I've made decisions in my past based on this too, right? Literally crying out, scared. I do understand it was all part of my walk to gain divine understanding, getting back to Dwennimen, right? Divine understanding, wisdom comes through humility and vulnerability. Okay, I didn't understand that. So I literally sat with the meditation to get the answer. And I wrote, thoughts backed by emotions become your reality. You cannot put people in a consciousness of fear and lack and expect them to make decisions that will fulfill them. You teach them to only see what is in front of them and to only be grateful for fragments of the abundance set forth from God consciousness through limited perception. However, it is possible that conquering fear and limitation is a rite of passage to the higher realms of life. Okay, that was the second part of that conversation, because I didn't understand, well, why are we born here if we were abundant and you made us to be in the image of God, not to be God, but to be the image of God, means that God is a wholeness. Okay, we're not separated. We're not separated. Okay, there's different expressions of God, and then also, for there to be God, there has to be the opposite in order for there to be a freedom of choice to make a decision on what consciousness you want to settle in. Okay? And then when your expiration of your body, your spirit returns back to God, and you basically learn what you learn, and part of your soul ascension is see if you could reincarnate to learn the rest of your lessons. But the whole point is to get back to the oneness and the peace of God. All right? Or else you get in a perpetual cycle of hell. War with yourself, war of the ego, choosing man over God. Okay? But yes, through that meditation, I learned that these things must exist in order for people to choose and to have free will. Okay, it's a must, or else what we're doing just being slaves, right? It reminds me, I know I didn't grow up in the church, nor have I read the Bible cover to cover, but I gained the knowledge in which I need when I need it. And I do remember this story of where I guess Lucifer was making a bet with God, and I don't remember, was it Job? You guys are gonna correct it in the comments if you hear this and you know. But he basically said, yeah, of course they praise you because you give them everything that they want. You know, only through the contrast of tribulation can you see the contents of their hearts, right? So I didn't understand growing up from where I grew up and then watching different dynamics with different people, because, you know, at first you're always a student here on earth. That's the first and foremost thing. You're a child of God, meaning that you're in a state of immaturity. So you must learn to mature in spiritual plane and physical plane and mental plane. Okay, you are protected. You just need to be able to learn and humble yourself, right? Because when they say God protects babies and fools, and then I think instead of babies, I think he means his children, her children. She protects her children and those who are ignorant. And if you aren't humble enough to accept the things that you do not know, and there's many things that you do not know, you'll never learn. Okay? It means you're choosing to stay ignorant even though the knowledge was there and you are aware of it. But with the knowledge, you're still choosing to go against yourself, going in sin, living in sin against yourself. Okay? So as I was watching all this stuff, I just didn't understand, well, why is this? Why? Why are you putting people through tribulation and then also making them believe that they only have these limitations? And it really was not that God is making you believe it. It's a choice. You choose what level of consciousness you want to settle in at. And when people start speaking, you start seeing their consciousness. or a collection of their consciousness. Okay? Once they start expressing, it's not only just speaking, because language and communication is more than just the words that you're saying. This is why tone counts in certain languages, right? It could change the total meaning of what you're saying. All right? Those people who are multilingual, linguistic, or have bilingual, they understand that too, right? Okay. All right, so let's get into the reading. It was a little forefront, 10 minutes long, but here we go. All right, thank you, God, creator of all things known and unknown. Please guide my best to deliver this message on the highest positive frequency for the divine alignment for all those involved. Divine wisdom, power, and glory, honor all those who have come before me. Thank you, God, in all tongues, all languages. I pray for the best possible frequency. We're channeling a message for this artwork, Dwennimen. For who needs to hear it, I open portals for the highest frequency of guidance in order to deliver this message for those who need to hear it when they need to hear it. If you are a spirit that would like to send a message to someone at this time. All right, so my eyes are immediately drawn to I do not react out of fear. I do not react out of fear. Okay, so before we get started, I'm using my Divinations, the Energy Readers Oracle deck. It's created by me. If you guys would like to purchase, let me know on Instagram and I'll ship it to you. Okay, so the first card we have out is a Spellbreaker card. It is Guiltiness. Guiltiness will rest upon the consciousness of those spiritually unclean. When trying to realign with your spiritual gifts, you will flash back to situations in which you behaved against your moral compass. During your underworld descent, aka shadow work, you are destined to feel guilty about acts conducted during the waking world experience. This emotion is necessary to align you back to your path. However, it is important not to get stuck here. If you are given breath at this moment, there is more to the story. Have patience and forgive yourself. Karma has everything under control. Okay, so back to what I was saying. If you deceive me, you deceive yourself. If you lied to me, you lied to yourself. If you hate me, you only hate yourself. Okay, so with that being said, as you're growing and you're learning, there are going to be things that you did not do. And when you reflect, when you gain a certain level of consciousness, as you go higher, you raise the vibration of your thoughts, right? Your frequency. Okay. You start looking back down your flashbacks. You're like, damn, I did that to myself. I let these thought forms run amok into my reality like this. Okay, and you do feel a little guilt. You feel it because you feel how you see how disconnected you were from divine purpose, right? And how you were serving this ego-centered reality. Okay, now to break the spell of guiltiness, you can say, I forgive my past transgressions. I am accountable for my resonance and choose to move forward. I trust the balance of the universe, and I will not live in a state of guilt. I will not live in a state of guilt. Now, I know a lot of religions, they do this thing where they either confess their sins to someone else or they just assume someone else will die for their own sins, but that's not how it works. Okay, I know this is, yeah, it's okay. I might lose a lot of people with this, but that's okay. I'm all right with that because I know it's the truth in what I'm saying. Okay, you cannot do nonsense and then say, well, Jesus died for my sins. Someone else died for my sins, so it's okay. No. As you ascend and you become close, you make a deeper connection with God, and it's not just for egoic reasons. You actually have a relationship with God. You genuinely will feel and understand why certain things you've done in your past were wrong. Okay? It's a coming to God moment. I know people say coming to Jesus moment, but who is this man to you? Okay? No one else can die for the things that you have committed against yourself because you're doing it to yourself. Okay? If I slap myself in the face, I can't go to someone else and be like, hey, you hurt me. No, it was me. I did it. I created this reality. Okay? And so I have to learn how to take accountability for those things, okay? And die to myself. Submit that part of my ego to God, right? But people get so attached with their identities that it's really hard for them to do that. And I say people, I mean I have, right? Until you start looking in the mirror and start realizing what part you're playing in your reality in co-creation with God, you'll always be looking for God outside of yourself. And that was one of the powers given to you. And then the deceptors of the world, I guess the archetype of Lucifer, okay, and many other names, okay, have come to, I guess, for you to relinquish that that power of being a child of God. Okay? But you don't get stuck there. You recognize it and then you take accountability to do better. Right? This is why you forgive yourself for your sins. Okay? No other person can grant you that. As soon as you start going up to other people like, "Hey, can you forgive me for my sins?" You're not, this is not authentic to your walk with God. We can only offer words of comfort and understanding. And even that won't be enough because you have to go to sleep at night, right? And travel through your own internal portals of consciousness. No one knows you better than you know yourself. No one will ever love you more than you love yourself. Your mother comes really close because, she had you in her womb, but during that time of conception really indicates whether or not she loved herself. And what did that love for herself look like? Was she also worshiping flesh? A lot of us were conceived in the darkness. Okay, born into sin, meaning she was going against herself. Okay, through fear. All right, so now we got paranoia. Paranoia is an energy that hijacks the root chakra. It will threaten your presence in your own body by stripping away your sense of security. Though a threat may be present, feeding a thought form without tangible proof is pointless and depletes energy. Empower yourself and control over your actions in any situation. To break the spell of paranoia, you can say, "I do not react out of fear. I am safe and secure in my body. All actions are made toward my best possible timeline." All actions are made toward my best possible timeline. All right. Let's get some more. I got conditional love on the cut, and my ego is balanced on the cut. My ego is balanced. My ego is balanced. Okay. That is where the part of humility comes from, because you're always learning and you can be corrected. All right. Humble people can be corrected. If you can't be corrected, you can't learn. What you got? What you got? Aries energy. We got, I learned from my experiences on the bottom. Yeah. Okay, Aries energy. You're all about that action. This energy is associated with getting shit done and holding no prisoners. Aries energy is very passionate and vibrant. This is the type of energy you want around for any advancement. In the positive polarity, you have the torch now and it's time to lead the way. In negative polarity, be aware of energy. Be aware of energy in any environment to avoid bystander casualties. Aries energy comes with the responsibility of structure and boundaries. Do not get carried away by its intensity. Then we also have community from the Divinations Energy Readers Oracle deck. Community. What is good for the individual is good for the community. Whether you are a loner or have simply convinced yourself that you don't like the company of others, community is still important. We are all connected by frequency and resonance. Strengthen the bonds in your community that support you. Despite what you may believe, you were not born alone. A community of people aligned with circumstances brought forth your existence. Give thanks to them. Thank you. Now is the time to show up for your community. What is something that you want to see in your community at this time? Community. I know. I wrote a lot of word community. When I started writing these cards, okay, humbly, I will say, I was like channeling pure, just, it was just coming out, right? So bear with me. Could you lend a supportive hand? Allow your presence to be felt in your community. Okay. So yeah. So once you humble yourself and you start realizing that there's already a network, okay, you're already being led by certain energies that align with your soul's journey. Okay. Try not to get distracted. Okay. Stay focused on the reality you're creating. Okay. And don't get too attached to anybody. All right. Now, with that being said, you are coming in as a leader. You have this fire energy, right? And so it's required for you to have some kind of structure and boundaries in order not to cinch anyone else, cause disruption, It reminds me of, there was a movie, like a kid's movie where these elements all came together and then the fire people were like a nuisance because everyone else was like, "You're ruining everything." Like you're setting fire, but they were necessary because they're very passionate people, very emotional people. But you kind of temper that fire, especially when you're around others, because you don't want to have unnecessary casualties. All right, all my Aries energy. If you have any Aries placement, you understand what we're talking about. Okay, you're an individual, but you're also an individual in community. This is where the humbling of the ego comes from, and understanding that you're part of a whole. Okay, we're all children of God, and we're all trying to find our way in soul ascension. Okay, so don't get too passionate that you start burning unnecessary bridges. Okay, and just kind of stand firm in your body at this time. Okay, because that can also bring forth paranoia. Okay, you're not really alone. Okay, we just need you to temper yourself, calm your temper down. Okay, because you are a leader, but don't let that go. Don't let that feed your ego. You were divinely placed. You were divinely placed, and even leaders need to learn from all their experiences. All right, so we got the Seven of Pentacles. So I should do it patience. Okay, try to be present and patient. Present and patient. You're about to collect the fruits of your harvest. Okay, all those pentacles kind of look like they look like skills, right? They look like skills. Okay, then we have the Four of Pentacles, which has to do with saving money. Okay, save that money for yourself. Okay, this is a lot of internal work that was done, and you're going to see the abundance of that, but just don't spend your energy in wrong places, or places that do not feed your fire, do not feed your spirit. Okay, you still need that flame to be lit. You need it. I said it. You still need that flame to be lit. You still need it. You still need it for advancement. So save your money at this time. Okay, if you don't think about all the work that you've done. Okay, it didn't come easy. It did not come easy. This divine understanding did not come easy. So don't waste it on frivolous things. Make sure you're feeding and investing it back into your investments, things that actually bring your heart chakra some love, some things that you're passionate about, things that you want to see succeed. Okay, I do not react out of fear. I do not react out of fear. Yeah, that's another thing. So paranoia and fear will have you taking those pentacles that you calmly waited, right? You calmly waited for them to grow. And then, you saved your time, energy, and attention. And then all of a sudden you're just giving it away freely to something that was not even aligned in your path. It was a distraction. But because you're moving out of fear frequency, it brought forth that confusion. All right, what do you got? Okay, Goddess of Cups. All right, so what we're saying right now is and then we got fire and water here. Okay, we're talking about emotional stability. Filling your own cup, my love. Okay, this is what we're talking about. Saving your time, energy, and attention, your emotional well-being. Okay, there was already wisdom granted upon your sense. You wouldn't be attracted to this particular art if you did not gain some side of wisdom. Okay? You need to have that wisdom and then, I guess, humbly integrate into your experience. Okay, remember, all actions made toward my best possible timeline. All actions are made toward my best possible timeline. Okay, repeat that. All actions are made toward my best possible timeline. Okay, don't allow anybody, or I guess bully you as a community. All right, I did see the World card just now, so you're on a cycle right now. When I say this, I mean you're closing out a cycle right now, and so you're at like the last stretch. Okay, like right there. So where you're focusing your time, energy, and attention right now is going to be what solidifies your timeline. If you hear what I'm saying, what solidifies your timeline. Don't allow guilt, paranoia, people pleasing. You heard me about that? Don't allow all that stuff to keep you back, to drag you back down on the other timeline. Okay. Yes, save your pentacles. Save your pentacles. Anything else from this deck? All right, I'm going to leave you guys with the Angels deck. Anything else? No, ma'am. All right. I'm going to leave you some angel messages, and then we're going to conclude the reading. See? With divine alignment for all those involved, divine wisdom, power, and glory on all those who come before me. Thank you, angels. Thank you, higher level frequencies. Thank you. I'm really grateful for my gifts. I'm really grateful to be used as a channel to help you get your babies back to heaven. All right, here we go. Okay, so we have Chantel. New romance is imminent, either with a newcomer or through reignited passion in your existing relationship. Be open to giving and receiving love. Okay, so the passion is key. That fire is very much required. New romance is imminent. Okay, so you're letting go of all those other timelines that didn't serve you. They were just distractions. And not when I say distractions, sometimes we have little side quests that are required for you to pick up some level of wisdom, some level of knowledge in order for you to incorporate into your life to actually produce wisdom, because that is what wisdom is, right? It's incorporated knowledge, integrated knowledge. All right. So then we have Aurora. You are flying high right now, which may threaten others, but don't descend because others will soon become inspired by your example. That's what I'm talking about. So that those members in your community that didn't understand the plans that God had over your life. Okay. Everybody got an opinion. You know, you forgot, boo. I was anointed. All right. You got to follow what makes you, what you need to do. Okay. Paranoia. I'm safe and secure in my body. And sometimes it is paranoia. Sometimes people be thinking people are against them when they're really not. Okay. You just got to pray for the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Okay. Then we got Vanessa. To make your decisions, ask yourself which way brings me closer to my divine purpose, which way takes me away from it. How perfect. Vanessa, how perfect is that, boo? Okay. Here, let's make it simple. If you're moving out of fear, anxiety, agitation, okay, that's the wrong direction. All right. If it brings forth love, clarity, if it gets your spirits high, okay, your spirit is high off life, okay, not drugs or alcohol. I gotta say it. It's true. It's true. Okay. All right. We naturally have this resonance. Okay. These things are just cheat codes that you can get into, but some of them come with a higher price to be paid. Okay. So if you're not paying it, okay, then we get into the frequency of addiction, which is very, very low. Very, very low. Okay, so make sure you're inputting better things, good things, more than detrimental things. Okay, more antioxidants other than, what was it? When you have cancerous cells, free radicals. Okay, more antioxidants, less free radicals. You understand what I'm saying, guys? All right. Now, with that being said, all that stuff is good. There's a new romance. I mean, that's great, right? I mean, you have the cups over here, which is very emotional. So I don't want to be like, I'm not a Scrooge or a Grinch. Love is great. Okay, you're receiving it, but like I said, that love that you have for yourself will only be reflected outside of you. Okay, so remember, do not react out of fear. Whew, golly, that was a lot of prana. Hi guys, if you like my vibe and you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you'd like a personal reading, please hit me up on Instagram at MinxyLuv. Have a great day. Bye.